I found out that I was Jewish when I was 12 years old.
I'm an entertainment reporter for NBC, and I interview celebrities on the red carpet, the Oscars, the Emmys.
I came back from my birthright trip and I felt rejuvenated and I felt inspired, but there was nothing there for me to connect to.
Giving to charity wasn't something that was important to me at all, and now philanthropy is an extremely integral part of my life.
My dad's Dominican, my mother's Jewish. Guess you could call me a Jew-Minican.
I always felt connected to being Jewish, but I didn't know how to fulfill that connection.
A friend of mine sent me an email about the Bar and Bat Mitzvah program at the JEC, and it was basically Judaism for dummies, and that's exactly what I needed. I really wanted to learn what it meant to be Jewish, and up until that point, I always felt like I should know this stuff, but I don't know it, and it was almost too late to learn about it.
The Bar and Bat Mitzvah program was really great for me because every week you would deal with some part of Jewish life so that you could feel comfortable with it.
So this is your international Jewish passport to any Sabbath table in the entire world.
What are the Jewish holidays and why do we celebrate them? And how do we celebrate them?
The Jewish wedding, and you would understand that, and that for me was like such a relief that here I'm not going to have to go to my first Jewish wedding and be terrified, you know, of doing something wrong or not understanding. Rabbi Lawrence, who works at the JEC, was also amazing. He's hilarious, so the classes were really engaging.
I think one of the hardest things about drawing people to a Jewish organization is the fact that we have so many other things drawing us elsewhere. For me, the JEC has kind of realized that.
The JEC really makes this a cool experience.
They have amazing parties, Purim parties, loft parties, rooftop parties. It's something that I could bring anyone to. People that I can drag out of the club and actually bring to a Jewish event and be like, this is just as good as anything else, if not better.
I mean, the JEC is now like a middle ground between college and getting married and having kids.
I saw a flyer for a Reloaded trip to Israel. Our Reloaded trip was one of the most powerful, inspirational things that I have ever done.
What I enjoyed most about the trip was the fact that these things have been there for thousands of years, and Israel and the Jews have fought so hard to keep it. Learning about all of these customs and learning about all these historical things that we saw was just amazing.
My numerous visits to the Kotel on my Reloaded trip, I realized that I wasn't an outsider to my religion.
I came back from the trip and I said, now what? I'm interested, I'm engaged, I'm intrigued. You've taught me Hebrew words, you've taught me prayers, you've taught me culture, and how am I going to grow that? So I heard about Legacy.
The Legacy program is a 10-week program. It is a more textual-based course than the Bar and Bat Mitzvah program was, that I felt gave you the basics of Judaism. Now this looks a little bit deeper.
Each week I built upon previously learned knowledge that I can actually bring into my everyday life.
In addition to teaching me how to be a better Jew, I feel like I'm becoming a better person.
I got an email from the JEC and from the Birthright Alumni Association telling me about a group called the Young Philanthropist Committee, or the YPC. We meet once a month to discuss philanthropic issues. Each of the 20 members submit a grant for a Jewish or Israeli organization, and then everybody votes to determine who the winner is. I nominated an organization called Meir Panim, which is a fantastic group which runs food shelters, it runs a battered women's shelter, they provide vocational training, they have a children's center, all throughout Israel. Everybody voted, and they ended up voting for Meir Panim, which I really felt great about. During one of the dinners that we had with Rabbi Yaakov Deo, he's a great guy, he was talking about how tzedakah, according to Jewish law, doesn't mean charity, it means justice. And I always thought that tzedakah meant charity. What do I know? Charity, it seems like it's a good thing. But in fact, tzedakah is something that you're obligated to do as a Jewish person.
The JEC approaches teaching as a go at your own pace. We're not going to judge you, we're not going to push you, we're going to give you the tools that you need to get there.
Now I know the meaning behind the Western Wall. I know what my homeland feels like now. I never expected to know what it was like, and now I know.
In July, I'm going on my Legacy trip, and I'll be extending for a year and staying in Jerusalem to continue to learn with my boyfriend. And I think it's really important because, again, we'll have the opportunity to continue the knowledge and to really create a foundation for ourselves so that we have something to pass along, so that we can be valuable members of the Jewish community.
I'd love to be the next Michael Steinhardt. He's had a larger impact on Jewish people than perhaps anybody else, at least people of my generation, and I'd love to have a similar impact on the next generation.
I told my mother, I said, I promise you that I will definitely marry someone Jewish and I will definitely give you Jewish grandchildren, and there's no doubt in my mind about it. That I owe in large part to the fact that the JEC is here.
I feel so blessed and so fortunate that I was able to be the receiver of all this great knowledge and information, and to finally feel like I've been officially welcomed and accepted into Judaism, where I've never felt that way prior to becoming involved with the JEC.
I am Kate Lord, and I am JEC.
My name is Jennifer Elkin, and I am the JEC.
My name is Justin Karp, and I am the JEC.
My name is Seth Goldman, and I am the JEC.
My name is Judith Yellen, and I am the JEC.
My name is Lou Ezrick, and I am the JEC.